I want to talk to you today about the most wonderful hormone that our body produces, and that's melatonin. And melatonin is really important for sleep. Now, melatonin is produced naturally within our bodies. It's produced within the pineal gland and also in the microbiome of your gut. And it's produced when the light, the natural light from the sun, starts to change, and when our optical receptors are not getting the light in, the daylight is changing, sends a message to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is your body's internal body clock, which helps to synchronize your circadian rhythm, which then sends a message to your thalamus, which then sends a message to your pineal gland to start producing melatonin. And melatonin is the signaling hormone that tells your body that it's time to go to sleep. Now, melatonin is super clever. It's what they call a chronobiotic. Now, that means that melatonin can seep its way into all your cells in your body. It can get through the blood-brain barrier. It can dissolve itself in fat and water, and it has the ability to get into all your cells and basically synchronize them all. So it tells your, for example, your digestive system, your kidneys, your liver, your circulatory system. It tells all your different systems of your body. It keeps everybody in sync to say it's time now to start, getting ready for bed. It lowers your blood pressure. It lowers your core body temperature. Not only that, but the wonderful thing about this hormone too is that it's got anti-inflammatory effects, and it's also got antioxidant, that's the word. I've got brain fog for a moment there. Antioxidant properties as well. So it zaps up those free radicals that are floating around in your body, and which can produce harmful effects. So it's a really, really wonderful hormone to have. Now, when we're babies, we're not born with melatonin production. That's something that only starts when you're between 3 and 6 months old. And we carry on then producing hormones ourselves, the melatonin hormone ourselves, until we get, towards midlife. And when we get to our 50s and 60s and 70s, our natural melatonin production, unfortunately, subsides. Okay, so that's a natural thing with aging, which explains why when we get older, when we get through to midlife and beyond, our sleep, it's harder for us to get to sleep. Our sleep becomes more fragmented, and we have, lighter sleep. So you might ask then, where do we get this melatonin from? If we need some melatonin, to top up our natural levels, where do we get our melatonin from? Well, the best place to get our melatonin from is obviously our natural production, and that is from a quality night's sleep. It's from darkness. So ensuring that your bedroom, you've got blackout blinds, that your bedroom's really dark. You could use a sleep mask. You could, to help, stop that any light getting in your eyes. Also making sure, that your bedroom's comfortable, general sleep hygiene stuff, making sure that it's cool enough that, you're relaxed and calm to get that good night's sleep. But also, it comes from a supplement. Now, you can, in other parts of the world, for example, America, buy melatonin online. Now, the problem with that is that, for one, you don't know the quality of the melatonin that you're buying. 2, you don't know the side effects of the stuff that you might be taking. A lot of these supplements have high pectin, high glucose content as well. And also, you don't know the dosage. So you might be buying something that's super strength, but the thing is with melatonin that, you need to be working on the lowest, most effective dose possible. So in the UK, for example, the only way that we can get melatonin is on prescription. So in any case, I wouldn't recommend that you go and just buy some melatonin off the internet. If you were thinking that you need some melatonin, then I would always recommend that you go and have a chat with your GP, because you can have side effects from taking melatonin. As a supplement, it could interfere with other medications that you're taking, and it could interfere, if you've got an underlying health condition that melatonin might interfere with. But saying that, melatonin can be useful for some people to help. with their sleep. You know, in some cases, you might have heard of people with children with autism being prescribed, or sometimes, you know, it's helpful for people with jet lag, for example. But always check with your GP first. So that aside, where else can you get melatonin in a safe way? Well, the most obvious way is food. Okay, so you can get your melatonin dose through eating pistachios. Pistachios and Montmorency cherries are the two foods that have got the highest levels of melatonin. Goji berries, they're also good for melatonin, as are oily fishes such as salmon and tuna, and also other foods that are high in tryptophan, such as eggs and oats. So I hope you found this snippet of information about melatonin useful. I'm Becca, I'm a sleep specialist, and I'm also a hypnotherapist helping people with insomnia and sleep difficulties improve the quality of their sleep. If you'd like to get in touch for more information and have a chat about how I can help you improve the quality of your sleep, overcome insomnia and sleep difficulties, then get in touch on my website, which is www.drbecca.co.uk. You can book a 30-minute free consultation. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching and take care.